Guys, deluded. YouTube's Lucas Torreira. I'm back again. I hope you're all well and safe and whatever when you're watching this vid, man. I hope you're all safe. But Arsene Wenger is being recognised in Liberia. What I mean by recognised is that George Weah, however you want to pronounce it, Liberia's president wants to honour his former coach with an award, the highest award in that African-based nation that someone can be given. I do believe I don't know how it works, but away from the on top of the award he's being given something like the lines of highest rank commander or something like that. It's a very high ranking award, a very prestigious award that many countrymen native to Liberia would die for. So for it, to highlight the fact that he's a foreign based national and he's getting this award is a lot of praise. It's been met with some criticism from opposition parties and things saying, what has he specifically done for Liberia or Liberia's people? To which a lot of that's fair, but to which you could flip it on his head and say it might not be a lot of people, but it's George Weah. He's taught him that white and black people can operate together and things like that. In his own words, George Weah said, when racism was at its peak, Arsene Wenger took care of me like his son. He taught me that white and black guys can live together. He's a father figure. Every time I was on the football pitch, I was ready to break my hand, my face and my neck to win games for him. Now, if you lot don't remember, the long story short is on a recommendation from a friend of his, Arsene Wenger, I believe it was Claude, who is being recognised as well, signed George Weah for around 12,000. George Weah never lacked self-belief, but he told him he can be one of the best players in the world, and it shocked George Weah. And to be honest, you know the story. He eventually was given World Player of the Year, obviously, and he's played for Monaco and he played for a lot of other prestigious sides. But now he's a politician. I believe he's the president. To which you've got to say, like, he's probably, that whole experience with Arsene Wenger is probably what led him down to this, seeing the best in men, seeing that regardless of tribes, colour, nationality, shade of colour, any other way we try and diversify people in general of all nationalities, it doesn't have to be like that. And I personally think Arsene Wenger was a big reason for him going down the presidential route. I don't want to be naive and say that's the only reason, because he has his own brain and thoughts, but this is a big influence of his. And for me, this is why I love Wenger more. I love Wenger for the Wenger ball, for all the footballing tactics and stuff, but away from that, the man is a human. There'll never be another one like this. Like, is he perfect? No. Has he sinned like the rest of us? Of course. But seeing the best in men, seeing the potential in people when you don't necessarily see it, fighting for your other man, not caring. Obviously, Wenger's a smart man. He recognizes color. He doesn't do this nonsense. What people do is, oh, I don't see color. We're all the same. We are all the same, but we should celebrate everybody's differences and realize that we all bleed red and things like that. That's exactly what Wenger did, man. And everybody says the same thing about how he was a son. And for me, he's just a great individual, a great human being. I don't know everything about Wenger, so I'm sure he has skeletons in his closet, but for me, time and time again, you hear things like this. You hear him teaching people. You hear him helping people. I mean, even people that speak illy of former legends of, current legends of Arsenal who don't play anymore, that speak illy of Wenger or did at any opportunity, he helped them when they were battling substance abuse. So this is all of the stuff I like to see, man. It goes beyond being a football manager, and it shows someone that displays great levels of empathy and things like that, and he fully deserves it. Because I mean, yeah, Wenger kind of fell towards the end of his career at Arsenal, but you can't take away from the fact that the man's an invincible. He's developed players, and he's being recognised. He's being recognised with the Premier League medals that he's won and things like that. He can't get knighted in England, despite the fact he's been here for 22 years and has been a hallmark of British footballing culture. He can't get that because he's a foreign-based person, so you can't be knighted. At least to my knowledge, you can't. But I do believe he has I don't know what it's called, but he has the highest rank on top of his OBE. Forgive me if I made a mistake, but he's got the highest rank that a foreign-based person can have in England. So you might as well call that the equivalent. So when you consider he's got this, he's got the Liberia Awards thing that he's getting now. I'm pretty sure he must have been recognised at some level in his own country in France for what he's done. So for me, he could look back with a lot of pride. He always talks about he doesn't really care for pride and ego and all of these things, but everybody has one. He can look back and say, yeah, maybe I didn't win the champs, but I've stood for something. And this is why I think Wenger is a bit different to other managers, because yeah, it's his greatest strength and his greatest weakness that he believes in people, but he's just a great human. Like, right, regardless, like, he's a great human being and he's an inspiration to a lot of people. He's an inspiration to me. A lot of the way I see football and have a lot of patience with certain things is down to Wenger. I do believe if Wenger was an Arsenal manager, I probably wouldn't be doing these YouTube vids, because like, yeah, I wouldn't be going down the route of looking at players develop and things like that. It's just, Yeah, man, I'm happy for Wenger. Like I told you, like he's my fourth granddad. I mean, between my two Caribbean granddads, I love them both. Rest in peace. I love you both. And also, and then obviously we've got Alex Ferguson, another granddad of mine. It's Wenger. So like, bro, I can't not be happy for him, man. I love to see this. To be honest, I'm buzzing for you. Not just you, obviously Claude Leroux has got that as well. Both played a pivotal part of your footballing career. But it's nice to see how George Weah's had this effect. He's probably, I don't want to say he was pessimistic on humans or things like that when he was coming up or looking for a chance, but it shows you how people can be nice to each other, and it probably helped shape a lot of his interest going into presidency. I can't even say the word, into applying to be president, man. So yeah, man, like all I can say is well done, Wenger. To be fair with you, so yeah, man. Obviously, it's met with opposition. If you're from Liberia. I can't really tell you anything if you don't believe Wenger shouldn't have this award. If you don't like, I'm not clued up on it, so I'm not going to comment on things I don't know. But all I can say is that I'm happy personally as an outsider looking in. I'm happy that again he's being recognised for this. I even saw the pictures. It looked like a baby was named Arsene Wenger, after Arsene Wenger. So there's not only one Arsene Wenger in this world anymore. But yeah, man. Yeah, I just think some people are made to do stuff in this. Some people, a lot of us have to find our way in life, and I believe some people are just picked to do great things. You got Messi, you got Muhammad Ali, you got many politicians, you've got many people, and I do believe Wenger is one of them. He was always made to be a football manager or someone that sees the best in people and things like that. I mean, look at his name, Arsene. Like he was made for this essentially. And when you look at his upbringing, how he was a very big believer in the church, he had to do a lot of church stuff growing up, and his parents owned a restaurant slash bar, and he's seen the vices and the problem. Obviously, if you worked in a bar, you would see a lot of vices, and you'd hear a lot of stories about life kicking people when they're down. So a lot of that has helped shape him and do good for the world, to be fair. And for me, it goes around him. It goes above him. It goes to the people that he's impacted, like you're seeing George Weah. It goes to anyone else, players that are well-known, players that are not known, players that even away from football that might have had a positive impact. Because stuff like this, I'm not naive, it's not going to change the world, but at least it's in a world where we're just hearing pure badness, where race has never probably mattered as much as it, you know, it's always mattered, but it's never been as in your face in my lifetime as it has in 2017-18 with, I know, up for the years, previous years, with the Brexit, with the rise of far rights, with the need of trying to identify as everything down to a spatula, the classism, racism, elitism, all of these ism things have never been more prevalent. So it shows that there are some good in the world, man. And stories like this every now and again restore my faith in humanity. Generally speaking, I'm a bit pessimistic on us as a race of humans, anyways, because of the wars and the vices and the you know, I was just about to say a certain elitist group that kind of control the world, but I ain't trying to get missing. But on that note, man, there's nothing more to say. All I can do is say, Wenger, big up yourself. Guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.